Just want to capture the color of these gorgeous leaves because they're just the most beautiful, vibrant color of yellowy green. So I'm going to bring you over here to my little painting area. There's Giselle working on a drawing. And here's my little painting spot in the shade. So I already drew out some leaves on my canvas and did a little underpainting. And if you want to watch along, I'm just going to make this cute little painting. So I'm just filling in the base coat. What I'm just doing is just finding the shapes of the flowers, of the leaves. And it doesn't matter where the shapes are. They don't have to be exactly like they were. I have a good pencil drawing here that's just kind of basic. And I'm just going to fill in the leaves. So an easy way to break down a painting is into basic shapes. Whoops. Basic shapes, whether you're doing a dog face like I did the other night, or you're doing a leaf, or even a landscape. Break it down into basic shapes. Decide what the base coat color is. So what is the most common color, or the most largely used color? So like obviously like a green or a light green for these leaves.
It's been a pretty
and then just start painting in those shapes. So I'm kind of finding the base coat to be a light green, but I don't want it to be that light, so I'm darkening it just a little bit. This is just a base coat.
What have you been up to?
And let me see for my drawing. Let's see what else I've got one here.
Nice. So what made you want to call? I mean, it has been a minute.
And I'm just using a bright yellow, a little bit of green, and some white.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see, there's some leaves that are in the background. So these leaves are close to the front. And what I want to do is I want to create just some depth. So I'm going to put some leaves in the back.
It was so fine, but it was rough.
And I'm going to leave little bits of red in between the leaves. It's because I want to.
That's caramel. I mean, when you guys get out, we already got that.
Let's see, I can't see if I had a leaf behind here or not.
I got out yesterday.
I think I'll put one behind here too. And then I'm going to do a leaf that's lower.
I was really late to sign up. But
like down here. This is a leaf here, but I'm going to get it a little bit darker.
No, I haven't sat in the computer. I keep forgetting you really caramel.
And so there's my base coats.
I was just there the other day for a class. Yeah,
now for the highlights, I want this to be just really beautiful bold green. So for the highlights, I'm going to get more yellow and a lot more white. So I really want the green, that beautiful green.
We don't have those cross.
And I want to suggest just some texture in the little veins that are there.
Yeah, it's really small. But it's fun.
So each leaf, I'm just gonna
I don't play.
take my time making some little scribbles.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's nice, like catching up.
So that's a really bright one.
Are you in Rose already?
This one is mostly bright, so I'm gonna put this bright one in here too. And just by turning my brush sideways, I can just put in some little high and low points. Just blob it on, just add little streaks. The beauty in this is not the perfect pattern, but just in the variety of greens. So I'm just playing around with the variety of greens. And then this high contrast red. I love this red. Okay, now these leaves that are in the back, I want to do a slightly different color. And I want them to be a little bit bluer so that they look like they're in the shadows. Whenever I want to put something in the shadows, you can use blue. So let me get a little dot of ultramarine blue. And I'm going to mix a little of the green with the blue.
No, it's the month of June. Yes.
And then just put a beautiful blue shadow in here.
Hot bread is really expensive.
So wherever I see a shadow, or whenever the leaves are further into the garden, I'm going to just make them a little bit more blue. And then just fill in the green. Let's do a little bit of blue shadow underneath this one.
Are you serious? 2 hours? Ours, I mean, it's 2 hours of like classroom, and then it's 2 hours of actually driving.
And I remember when I was drawing it, there was there's blue shadow under this one since it's in the distance. And I'm going to put a little bit of blue on the leaves in front that were maybe had a little shadow on the leaf where the sun is creating just a little bit of a shadow.
I don't even like, I mean, even if I did have my life, I wouldn't have any cards there.
I love this leaf. This is looking so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to have it again.
I need to get a little brightness in this center section here. It's looking a little transparent. I'm going to add a little bit more color.
I can't remember. Did I even the last part? I mean, did I okay, then it's been a while.
And now I'm going to put in some little extra white highlights just to kind of pop out some. So we did the base coat, and then we did shadows. Well, we did the little highlights first, then we did some shadows. Now I'm going to do some straight white highlights to some of the brightest areas of the leaf. And now we're getting this really nice play of lights and darks. It looks so pretty. I think I want to, these are drawing a little dark, this chartreuse area. Let's go back to our leaf and take a look at our leaf again. So it's very, very yellow. These are our leaves. You can see how the leaf underneath is dark. And then we have the little shadows. We've got leaves underneath. And then this just this pretty branching. I'm not going to make the little jaggedy edge on mine. I'm just keeping my edge straight. But you can see how there's like all these really bright sections where the sun is hitting these. So let's go back and add some more yellow. I'm inspired by seeing the pictures again. So let's go back to our little painting.
I have
And I'm going to get a little bit more white and yellow. And get a little bit braver with my brights.
And also, like, I'm not interested enough in Varda to just enjoy this film alone and do, you know. You probably wouldn't know that. Well, she doesn't know. Everyone who like had even like I didn't really have beef with anybody, but everyone who I did, so I wasn't like slightly bad friends with anybody, those two more, which is great. I had like a huge falling out with like my remember the whole middle school thing? Yeah. Like we don't talk anymore. What about you? Who are you thinking?
So I like this color a lot better.
Oh yeah, how's she doing?
And I'm going to just add a little bit more brightness to some of these leaves in the background. Just a little layer, not too much.
Oh, what?
Just to get a little pops in the shadows.
Oh.
Now you can fill in these shapes very broad. You can fill in them like just big sweeps of color. And just enjoy filling in the shapes. Kind of like I'm doing. Okay, so now I want to do the background. So I want the background to have a different color, contrasting the greens. And I'm thinking about making it more of like, maybe like a teal. So, or I could do it like a light purple. Good thing my coffee's got a lid. I almost drunk it. Rushing my coffee. Okay, so I'm going to just go around the background. I want to create some little tiny stems here. So the stems I'm going to do in a little bit of a lighter pink. Because they were kind of pink.
Except for like, I mean, this color is like different.
So I like the little pink stem.
I'm not even like talking to like anybody on this.
Okay, so there's that little tiny detail of the stem. It looks nice. Okay, so now for our teal or background color. I could do it in a lavender, I could do it in a teal. I think I'm going to do it like in a blue teal. So I'm going to mix my ultramarine blue. I'm going to try making, I'll do a little color palette over here. I'm going to try a little bit of yellow and white. I need to have more blue so I don't get it mixed up with my flower.
It's so funny when you do that.
That's a gorgeous color. Okay, so this is going to be my background color.
Okay. Do you remember Liz from our math class? Liz? Elizabeth? She was really quiet. I didn't even realize she was in our math class, to be honest. I don't know. She was really quiet, but we're like best friends. so I was like, yeah, like we had English together. She's like, we also have math together. I was like, no, we didn't. I don't remember. I just remember like you and Jack and Parker and who else was there? I forgot who it was.
I love just filling in the background. It's just like,
He's weird.
it's just so rewarding just coming close to the finish line of this painting. And then just knowing that it's okay to have it look just these beautiful juxtapositioning of color.
I don't have any classes. I did last year, but
And just filling in whatever's there. Whatever you made is fine. There's no right or wrong to it. You just enjoy the beautiful color and the brush strokes. I love those little peaks of red. I'm going to leave some of these white brush strokes on here because I love it. I love the texture of this background being brushy.
oh, this is one.
And I do need 2 coats because as it dries, it gets a little bit transparent. I'm going to add a little bit more of the ultramarine blue here.
Yesterday, I was at a birthday party, and he was there, and like, I don't mind being around him in group setting, but like, just in general, I'm not here for him. And, because this guy I know is in that. And, okay, are they like actually racist? Like, genuinely. And I'm like, how can people even stand to like be around him? He's so annoying. And yesterday, right before going to party, I didn't take a match. And I got clothes on. I was gonna change into something there, so I stuck in my bag. And he put a hot dog inside my bag, and it got all disgusting and greasy.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's fine.
It was not.
Okay, this is looking so fun. I love it.
$50 bra out of my bag that I just bought, being covered in hot dog grease.
Okay, no offense.
You know,
Like $50 is excessive.
it's really not.
Okay, now I'm going to get a little tiny brush to get into these little spaces. So let me just wipe this off.
So I don't know, dude. Oh, it is.
Okay, let me get an extra little paintbrush. So let me show you my little bag. So this is just a little cigar box. Very easy to carry. I cinch it closed with this elastic band so it doesn't open up. And this is enough to fit a couple of primary colors. This is a watercolor pad, a few little mini canvases like the one I'm painting on, and some brushes. So let's see, I need a small brush. This one will work. So I'm going to use this pointy brush to get in between the spaces. And let's go back to finish up this little back. Oopsie, interrupted phone call. All right, so let's get back to our beautiful blue teal. And I'm just going to come in here really close and do a little and these little negative shapes actually take on a life of their own, and they're so pretty.
You got 100% what?
Every time I've called her, she wakes up.
Are you calling her right now?
Okay, it's starting to warm up in here. Starting to feel the sun. Gonna have to move locations after this painting. Okay, then I'm going to add just a couple little touches of blue just around some of the edges just to add a little extra color. maybe I'll put a little extra blue. And so these little spaces in between, I'm going to need a little bit more paint so that they're more opaque. Just a little bit. Doesn't hurt to paint them a little bit more blue so they also recede and contrast my bright edges. Okay, so there's our little painting. So this was about 20 minutes, 20-minute little study.
I can't even.
Put it in the sun. Isn't that so cute?
Hey.
Hi. And
Hey.
there's my painting buddy.
Knitting.
Buddy.
Knitting
Okay, bye
today.
everyone.